You're about to enter the real world, and all these things matter. Hey loves, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Valerie, and if this is your first time here, you are welcome. And if you're returning, hey darling, what's up? On this channel, we care about all things intentional living, self-improvement, and living our best lives. In today's video, this video is a follow-up to a previous video I did on the best advice for college or university students. Today's video is the best advice for students in their final year. I'm doing this because I've gotten a few DMs asking about this, and I just thought, you know what, let me do a YouTube video with the best possible advice I think I could give, or I would have loved to give myself. So without talking too much, let's get right into this video. Advice 1: prepare adequately for final year. I think that oftentimes we forget, or we don't really consider what being in our final year could mean for us as human beings, or as college students, university students. We don't really think about it. There's more. You do have less courses, but sometimes the coursework in your less courses are more, depending on the school you're in and the course that you're studying. So you just want to find time to make sure that you're balancing things out, because you need to make sure that you're caring for yourself. Because if you do maybe miss an exam or miss a course or miss things that would contribute to you actually graduating in your final year, you don't want that, because your final year is such a crucial time on your university journey. So make sure that you're prepared adequately and you're taking everything into consideration for this period of your life. Advice number 2 is to pick a project topic that you are passionate about. I think that sometimes we go and maybe pick project topics to impress maybe our lecturers or whoever is in charge of grading us or being our supervisor for final year projects. But then if you pick a project that you're not interested about or interested in, you're going to have a hard time finding resources or things you need to make sure that you deliver a good project to get an A. It's so important you get an A in your final year project if you can, depending on your school. When I was in university, that carried 6 units, and that automatically helped bump your GPA if you do get a high grade. So just make sure that you pick something that you're interested in and something that you can easily find resources for. This is not the time to go and pick something that is so superficial that you end up falling under the weight of what you're trying to do. Advice number 3: get a virtual internship. I believe that in your university years, you want to make sure that you're taking your holiday period to intern in some way, because believe it or not, when you graduate from university, the people with experience, and when I say experience, having internships, working on school projects, leading committees in school, get hired more than you that you were just focused on work with your 5.0 GPA. So if you did not get the chance to do an internship in all your other years, this is the time. Thank God COVID has made a lot of companies have virtual internships. Get one if possible and try to learn some skills for your resume. The 4th one is ask for recommendations. So you need to start asking your lecturers or people in school you've worked with in one way or another. This is not your colleagues, these are people above you, to be for recommendations, because you might decide to either apply to graduate school or get a job which you need recommendations for, or apply for a scholarship or a grant or something which you need recommendations for. This is the time to start gathering that network. I feel like this is a mistake that I made. I really did not do this, so I advise you to do it. It is so important and so crucial, so you don't need to start scouring when it's time. The next advice for you in your final year is perform a life audit. So in case maybe you're just like not sure, you've been winging it, you've been going with the flow, your final year is the time to look at your life holistically, like take a step back and look at your life to decide on what direction you want to go in next. because you can graduate from university and wing it, because so many people do that, but it just helps if you just have an idea. Like, no one is saying that this should be set in stone. Like, just be like, oh, when I graduate, this is what I think I want to do next. Just have something to hold on to. It really helps give some bearing. So look at your life, look at habits you feel like you need to get rid of because they wouldn't help you in the long run. Maybe you want to make some huge changes in your life. Maybe you want to change your aesthetic. Maybe you want to change how people know you. This is the time to start working on all of that. The next advice that I would give you is to network with alumni. So when you go to university, one of the things that I think we forget, especially in this part of the world, is that our alumni network is so strong. You can connect with someone just because they happen to go to the same school with you, and maybe you get a job opportunity or you get an internship opportunity. But this is the time to start looking out for people in fields or people whose lives you connect with and reach out to them. This was something that was so helpful for me, because one of the mentors that I have in my life today, that was how we connected, because I reached out to alumni from my university. So this is time to start networking and know who you want to have in your corner. Another thing you want to start doing in your final year as well is to start cleaning up your social media, guys. Because I think if you haven't seen my video on social media etiquette, you should definitely check that out, because I share the do's and don'ts on social media. But even if maybe previously you've been doing as you like because you've been in the shadows and you've been protected by being in university, you're about to enter the real world and all these things matter. People are now searching your name on Google to see what comes up, or trying to trace your social media to you to see the kind of person you are before they either give you a business opportunity or a job opportunity. When you performed your life update and you see that, okay, you need to change some things, it's time to clean up your social media to reflect that. We've seen time and time again of how something that someone said years back comes back to haunt them years later. Nobody's going to care if you were 100 level and you were 13 or 14. They're going to say, you said that, she said that, he said that, and we don't want that. So please take time out and scrub your social media. The next advice I'm also going to give to you if you're in your final year is to apply for graduate jobs. Trust me, the earlier you start, the better for you. The earlier you start, the better for you. Just try to find something, because a lot of the opportunities you might want would get taken up by people who started applying on time. You want to work at Google, you want to work at Facebook, you want to work at McKinsey. Start working on it from your final year, not when you come out into the real world. You then want to start that journey, because it just gives you a head start over everyone else, and you're more prepared for these opportunities that you're looking for. And the last and final tip I would say is to just enjoy it. Spend time with your friends, take so many photos, just enjoy being in college, because being in university, because I feel like I did not really make the best out of my final year, because when I graduated I kept on saying things like, oh, I wish I spent more time with this person. I have friends that were so close, but we haven't even had time to see, because we live in different countries, you know. So you want to create those memories that are going to last you a while. You might think it's dumb to wear the same outfit with everyone and take photos, but just do it, because you have something to look back to and to hold on to, and to just remember being young in university and having the time of your life. So I wanted this to be a short and straightforward video with the advice I have for you. If you have any other questions on being in final year or being in university or coming into the world of work, don't forget to leave a comment below and I'll be sure to answer as soon as I can. If you haven't seen the last video that I made on the advice for first year students, don't forget to check that out and share it with someone who might find that helpful. Until next time, see you in my next video. Love you guys.